Take a look at this. You're looking at the infamous 2021 memo from Biden's DOJ, the one that sicked the FBI against concerned parents after the National School Board Association deemed them domestic terrorists. And now we're learning it was politicized from the start.
According to newly surfaced emails obtained by America First Legal, the Biden Justice Department actively searched for a way to justify this move. One email from a DOJ aide regarding the letter from the NSBA flagging the outrage reads, "We're aware. The challenge here is finding a federal hook, but White House has been in touch about whether we can assist in some form or fashion."
But other emails show that some DOJ lawyers were concerned about taking action. For more on all of this, let's bring in America First Legal President and former White House Deputy Counsel Jean Hamilton. Jean, so great to have you on this really important story. It's your group that uncovered these really important documents. And just to bring our viewers into some of the details here, some of the emails reflect, and I'm going to quote here, the DOJ lawyers were looking at what the teachers' unions were raising, and they're saying almost all of the language being used is protected by the First Amendment. So the DOJ lawyers were telling the Biden administration, what's happening here, what's being communicated by the parents is protected speech. But then in the days following, we saw the then AG Garland telling the FBI, you're going to help local law enforcement with this disturbing spike in harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence. When you saw this, what did you think?
Lydia and Brian, thank you for having me on. Look, my team at America First Legal, when we got these documents as the result of a lawsuit that we had filed against the Department of Justice, our heads practically exploded. I mean, they confirmed everything that we suspected and everything that we've been saying about this incident since it happened in 2021. But it was really outrageous to see definitive proof that this was happening at the direction of the White House, that there were concerns about this being protected First Amendment activity. And yet, Merrick Garland proceeded with sicking the entire Department of Justice, including the FBI, including the National Security Division, including the Criminal Division, against parents for exercising their fundamental rights to speak, petition the government for redress, and also to direct the upbringing of their children. This is one of the most egregious examples of weaponization of government that I have ever seen in the history of America. The people need to be held accountable.
So, Jean, talk about that, because I know parents who spent a lot of time going to school board meetings during that time period, and even still today. And even if they weren't in, Loudoun County, they were just incensed by the way their government was treating them. So now that we're getting this information, what does that mean in terms of the legal repercussions for holding, as you say, these folks accountable?
Look, there are a number of people who could have viable claims if they've been targeted by law enforcement, if they have been arrested by law enforcement, if they're investigated, anything of those sorts. It would be a fact-specific determination. But if you think about what happened here, and you think about the irony of this all, accountability doesn't just mean accountability in a court of law. In the court of public opinion is equally important. Numerous of these officials from the Biden Department of Justice have gone on to other things, including becoming a federal judge, including service in big law firms and major corporations. The left takes care of its own. It rewards people for carrying out their political doing. The right doesn't seem to quite have that down yet, but the right's always pursuing justice. But yet here we have on the left a bunch of people who are conspiring to deprive Americans of their civil rights, their civil liberties. It is egregious. It is abhorrent that this could happen in the United States of America in the 21st century.
Jean, I want to get your take about more details that are coming out about the Biden administration. This is according to the New York Post. Then Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg spent $80 billion on DEI grants. And that's happening all while America's air traffic control program fell into disrepair.
One air industry official told the Post that he was definitely pushing an agenda, while noting that Buttigieg had little to no interest and took definitely zero action toward air traffic control modernization. So here you have Secretary Duffy now trying to clean up this mess, and you find out a big part of the mess is the fact that the previous guy, Buttigieg, was spending a lot of money and apparently a lot of time on, I don't know what DEI gets you. It doesn't get you safer skies. What do you think, Gene?
Y'all are exactly correct. Look, Secretary Duffy has his work cut out for him. Think about what it takes to correct 4 years of decision-making based on considerations other than merit. And when it comes to something like the safety of our air traffic, it comes to the safety of our skies, you would think that the only thing that would motivate and animate your decision-making as the head of the Department of Transportation would be making sure that we keep those planes in the sky, that we ensure passenger safety. I mean, this is common sense. These are things that we used to all agree upon as a country. And yet here you have definitive proof that the Department of Transportation was awarding grants based on all kinds of crazy things and not focusing on merit, which is ultimately what matters.
And you're right. We saw Secretary Duffy just a couple months ago showing us the aged and outdated ancient infrastructure, the old computer systems that they're now working to update, trying to get caught up on what was missed under the last administration. Gene Hamilton, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again very soon.
Thanks, sir.